smack. Let's get it started here. And now I'll sing you, let me sing you a song, my dear. It's about a little man, he parries every...
You don't want to be like this. This is disgusting. This is awful in every way. If I could...
Hello, my dearies. Oh, shucks. Boy, I've been gone for a minute. We gone and I'll be back today. You see the excitement levels on 1,000. Because we're talking about... Okay, then. So let me explain to you a story that I went through real quick. I was over the Thanksgiving break. I was like, let me watch an anime real quick. I parry everything. Okay. Okay, I'm like, parry everything. That me, like, you saying, like, so technically, I'm like Bill's parry. You know, like your wife's come to you like she got something saying, and you're just like, no parry. Your kid's like, yo, I just broke my leg on my bike. You take a parry. Right? Like you parry that away. So basically, we follow a freaking guy. I don't remember his name because it's been weeks, literally. But we follow this guy. He bought it out of his freaking brain, but he can't seem to conjure up anything, right? So he goes from freaking master to 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 freaking master, and they all tell him the same thing.
Wait. Yeah, you suck. Yeah, you just suck. Blows my mind that somebody like this not only exists.
You guys like, damn it. I gotta go my way now. I gotta go do my thing. So he decides to train, right? And he's like, if I can't learn this, if I can't learn that, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna parry. Parry. So what did he do? He parried. And so he became really botted and really overpowered by botting himself with the magic. And then he's like, I mean, he could parry everything, right? But he lost his freaking mom, and then he lost his dad, and he's all by himself out in the wilderness. So basically, it's like a gag character. It's like one of those plots, but it was actually a lot more interesting than I thought it would be, because not only was I kind of intrigued to see what else he could freaking do, but I mean, his OP-ness kind of like, it was nice. It felt good to watch in a way. How they would explain he would get out of certain things is like, because he was like susceptible to that stuff out in the nature, he was like, he's good doing it now. So like, let's say he was fighting a poison dragon at one point, right? When he thought it was a frog, basically because he's like, he got bit in the forest, he started eating poisonous things, he became like good to the poison, which is crazy, you know? And basically that's how he would figure his way out of things. So that's that type of character. Right. My guy runs, right? And like there's like a girl that's like a princess. And so basically this minotaur thing is like destroying people. And she's just like, help! Help! And so my guy's like, oh gosh, I gotta go save her. So he quick dashes in, right? And before she gets freaking, you know, he go, ping! That's the sound of the freaking, the thing, like he grabs the sword. Ping! 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 Mind you, this is a Minotaur high-grade beast. It's not no easy thing. He decides to like parry the freaking thing, and now she's saved, right? And she's just like, oh my god, thank you so much, thank you so much. And he's like, yo, it's no problem. I'm just being me. I'm just chilling, going about my days. So she's like, no, let me repay you. My guy's just like, no, I'm getting out of here. So he dipped, right? Serendipitous. He get the freak out of there. So she decides like, nah, I gotta go find this dude. So she decides to use her cloaking mechanisms, her freaking magics, and go follow my guy.
Excuse me, what's the actual...
And he's just like, what the freak is going on? Basically, we do these things, we have these interactions, and then he ends up at the king's palace. She's just like, I got to repay you for what you did for me. You know, you saved my whole life, sir. So the king is like, what do you want? Land? What do you want? Money? What do you want? This? And he's like, no, bro. I'm humble like that. All I gotta do is clean up the gutters. All I gotta do is do my little stuff so I can become a freaking guildard. Cause he wants to be like a part of the guild. That's his little, like that's his dream thing. And the king is like, you know what? I got you, bro. He decides to get his freaking sword that he got in his journeys, and he's just like, here, take this. And he's like, are you sure? Are you sure? You know, and he's just like, no, wait. This can actually clean up the gutters that, you know, because he has to like scoop, like waste out the gutters. That's his little thing. Really humble guy, by the way. Not sure if you guys can hear any of that, but no! Get away! We already had a hurricane, actually too. So get the freak out of here. He's like, the king's just like, try swinging it, and that part was really cool because the music was really sick. We'll get to that in a minute. But then my guy's just like, the king is just like, swing it, you know, just try it out a bit. And my guy's just like, all right, I got you. And then freaking one-handed, by the way, giant freaking sword that's really impenetrable, cannot be broken at all. Should not be competing with you. I'll close the window.
Aw,
you need to stop. Anyways, sorry about the freaking wind. Clearly he wants to, you want to take over?
Yes!
By all means. By all means. They're like, oh my god, there's no freaking way. This is a two-handed blade, big old blade. And my guy's just like, nah, bro, it's nice. Anyway, man goes about his way and Gun goes about his days doing his only thing, right? So basically the episodes are just about him parrying more things. So it's like, I parry an army, I parry a frog, I parry a dragon of calamity. All he does is parry. That's his whole thing. And you would think that you would get bored of the plot really quick, right? But for some strange reason, I'm finding myself wanting to watch every episode that comes. I'm like, bro, what the freak is this guy gonna parry next?
Hey,
right?
it's me, Goku!
So the plot is really cool, you know, the characters, I don't really mess with the trope of like the ditzy girl. Like, don't get me wrong, like sure, I guess it has its place, but like when the girl's just like, you're gonna be my master. I'm like, bro, that's annoying. You're annoying me. I just want to see my guy hit something, okay? But sure, the plot goes on. And they're just, you know, he's slowly leveling up, slowly trying to get to it. But the whole trope is that the thing that he thinks he's fighting is like a weak thing. Like, he thinks that to be an adventurer, you have to be fighting all these monsters, right? And basically, he's fighting like endgame monsters. And the people around him are just like, you should not be able to kill that. Like, that's like, nobody can kill that thing. And he's just like, he thinks that he's weak compared to everybody else, right? I remember I continued watching it, and we meet all these characters and whatnot. It's like, miss that, right? But what stuck out to me the most is like the character of my guy and how he just parries everything was just so satisfying, you know? Mind you, we get to the episode, it's near the end, right? But he gets to this episode where he's like parrying armies, right? So he's facing an army by himself. There's invading nations and whatnot, and the invading nation comes. My guy shoots up Snookable speed. Okay, you heard that? Snookable speed. Okay? Try saying that 5 times fast. Snookable. Wow. I guess it was a lot easier than I thought it would be. Basically, they shoot this freaking beam. My guy goes like, beam goes to the sky, and they're just like, what the freak happened? My guy, like, what she'll do is like get her beam thing, and so she fires it at his back, right? Boom! My guy goes flying. And like, this was probably the sickest part of the entire mess, bro. My guy goes sprinting from the, like, carrying it, and he goes like, boom, and I'm like, damn! You know? And he's like running in there, and they're just like, what the hell's going on? And my guy's like, parrying all the freaking weapons go into the sky. And I'm just like, oh my god, this is kind of sick. And he's moving like, bing, 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 bings across the army, right? And he's just parrying everything as he sees it, bro. 10,000 armies, 10,000 legions. They get to the point where he's parrying the freaking, like, there's like mana reservoirs so they can shoot the beam, because the beam, the pseudo-dukos, whatever the freak I called it, beam, it takes a lot of energy, a lot of magic. So he freaking moves right to the sky, right? And he's clearing them out, bruh. And we get to this point where he reaches the castle, right? They go to find the evil king that they were having to fight, and they were trying to make a kudos and try to kill the freaking evil king, the people of the other nation. And he's like, bro, you can't do that, right? And it was like funny because he was trying to save the king, but he was just like thrashing him around while doing so. And again, we get to the point where like the whole thing ends, you know. I know barely of this stunt made sense, but this is a nonsense judgment. If I wanted it to make sense, I would have called it Nana's Make Sense Judgment. Okay, it's not what that is. You want that? Go somewhere else. I'm kidding. I value that you're here. Anyways, yeah, all in all, the anime actually was a lot better than I thought it was. I remember Omni, shout out my boy. He was saying that he was watching it over some period of time, and I was like, you know what, I'll check it out. You know, it's only 12 episodes, and honestly, I enjoyed it way more than I thought it would. You know, the big point of the anime for me was definitely the music, because that soundtrack had me researching on YouTube where it was, because I remember when he was making some points, like he was fighting, and like the music, the soundtrack would kick in, and I'm like, oh damn, I'm starting to feel that feeling like how my hero, and it's like, you know, like this guy's really doing something, man. It's changing my mentality. I gotta go work out or something. I'll be able to parry my bills, parry the schoolwork, you know, maybe No? Okay, fine. All in all, it was really, really cool anime. Characters weren't that obnoxious to me besides the freaking girl. Everybody besides her were like, they were fine. She freaking annoying. The trouble with like the dumb guy, the dumb OP character. I like that and I enjoyed that a lot. Even like the fact that he was just super OP. You maybe get bored of a plot like that, but like just seeing like a refreshing sort of, I'm an OP character and I'm just gonna be vibing in my world as a literal god. That was really fun to watch, you know? So definitely I would say maybe like I'm not gonna be too much on it because 7, you have to be a really good anime for that. So I'm gonna go a healthy 5, you know? Like, was it the best thing ever? Absolutely not. But then it was a very good watch as well and I kind of enjoyed it, you know? So I definitely would say go ahead and watch it if you haven't because, you know, if you have a couple of not a couple of hours, like maybe like a day or two, it's not a really long anime at all, you know, and it's really fun, honestly. So I would definitely go say check it out if you have the time. Listen, I said my dues. I appreciate you for watching, but your boy, you gotta get the freak out of here.